Pens are the basis of how animals are handled in AIMS. A pen is simply a group of animals within your database. When you first open AIMS, you will see one pen already created called All Animals. Every animal in your AIMS database is stored in the All Animals pen, but working with all the animals at once is not a user-friendly way to manage animals in AIMS. Creating pens of animals, whether for breeding, weaning, pasture groups, sale groups, and so on, allows you to create a group of animals to work with. You can then use these pens to submit data to the association or even request updated EPDs back. Animals can be in more than one pen at a time, and there is no limit to the number of pens an animal can be included in. To create a pen of animals, you will go to Pen in the blue ribbon at the top of your screen, then click on Create Pen. This will bring up a pop-up window that has step 1 of creating pens. The table drop-down has a variety of tables to pick from for what fields you want to create a group from. In most cases, the table named Angus will have the data fields you would use to create a pen of animals. However, there may be cases where you want to use other tables to create pens from. To see a complete list of the data fields in each table, click on Help, then Contents, and select Table Field and Descriptions from the menu on the left. You can then find the table you want to view in the list and see what fields are included. After choosing the table in the Creating a Pen window, select the Column drop-down. This drop-down menu will show you the list of data fields available for the table you have selected. For this example, we will select birth date from the Angus table to start with. Next, you will use the Operator drop-down to set parameters for the field you selected. In this example, we are going to select birth dates greater than or equal to. The next field is the value, which is where you enter the actual value you want the operator to use when searching the column you selected. For this example, we are going to create a pen of animals with birth dates greater than or equal to January 1st, 2022. Please note that there is no reason to add dashes or slashes between the numbers for the birth dates. You can simply enter them as a string of numbers as shown here. The final field on this step is the logical indicator. You will need to select a logical value when there will be multiple steps in the selection of animals for the pen. This value will indicate to the program what you want the next step to do. In this example, we are going to be looking for a group of animals with a range of birth dates. If we use AND, that would mean that we want the animals in this pen to meet the first criteria and the next one that we enter as well. However, if we selected OR, that means that they can meet the criteria in this current step or the next one that we enter. For the range of birth dates, we will select AND. When you select one of these values from the drop-down, it will automatically add the next step for you to fill in. If you left the logical part blank, no additional step would appear. For the second step of our selection, we will select a birth date again, but this time we want the operator to be less than or equal to December 31st, 2022. The combination of the first step and the second step will give us the animals with birth dates between January 1st, 2022 and December 31st, 2022. You will also notice these options at the bottom. These are shortcuts that can be used to add commonly used steps to your selection criteria. In this case, we only want to create a pen of cows born in 2022. So we will select the Sex equals C option to add this step. You could also add this step by doing what we did above for birth date, but instead of selecting birth date, you would select sex in the column drop-down. Now when we selected Sex equals C, You will notice it automatically added the step in as well as inserted the logical AND at the end of our second line. This is telling the program that we want animals with the birth date range we entered and to only include females. Now that we have all our selection criteria entered, click Next to see who was selected for this pen. You can see that based on the information we provided, there were 73 animals in the AIMS database that were born in 2022 and are cows. If you missed an animal or want other animals included in this pen, you can click on Animals in the list on the left and add them to the pen you are creating. The list on the left will include any animals in your AIMS database that did not meet the criteria you entered. You can also remove animals from the pen you are creating by selecting an animal from the list on the right and clicking Remove. You can find animals by scrolling through the lists or by searching using the search at the bottom of each list. If you are unsure about who an animal is, simply right-click on the animal at any time to see the general information window for that animal. For example, if you wanted to add the animal with the tattoo 007 to the pen you are creating, you can type this in the tattoo search field, and animals containing that in their tattoo will be filtered into the list. You can then select the animal you want and click and drag them over to the new pen, or click the Add button. You can see that there are now 74 animals in your new pen, and the animal 007 was added to the list. Once you have the animals in the pen you want, you can enter the pen info on the right. First, you will need to name the pen. Pen names can be up to 30 characters in length. We will name this pen 2022 Cows. Next for pen info is the category. As you create more and more pens, categories can help you sort your pens easier. You can either type a new category or use the drop-down to select a category you have used previously. We are going to add the category of 2025 sale cows for this pen of animals. You can also change the tab page. The tab page is the default data tab that the pen will open to whenever you select it. For example, maybe you are creating a pen of females you will be entering breeding records for. Then you could select the breeding tab as the default tab page. For our example, we will leave this as general for now, but you can use the drop-down to make the changes you want for any pens you create. The final field for pen info is the comment section. You can use this to describe more details about the purpose of the pen. We will make a note on this pen that these are potential sale females. Now that we have entered the pen info, we will click Create Pen. The new pen will automatically open when you first create it. You will see the name of the new pen at the top of the open pen, and you can see the total number of animals listed at the bottom, which was 74. To open and see the pens that you have created, go to Open Pen under the Pen tab. In the pop-up window, you will see the pen just created and the pen information you saved. All of these columns can be sorted to help you find the pen that you are looking for. Let's go through another example of creating pens. If you have a group of animals that you want to create a pen for, but they don't have a lot in common to be able to sort by, there is the option of using Quick Pick feature to create pens. In the General tab, you will see Quick Pick with a checkbox next to it. If you select the checkbox on all of the animals you want to use to create your new pen, this will allow you to use Quick Pick as a field to make a pen with. To create that pen of animals using your Quick Pick selections, you will want to be on the Angus table, then you select Quick Pick from the column, an operator of equal, and the value of Y for yes, then click Next. You can see that there were 6 animals selected with the Quick Pick feature, and a new pen was created containing these 6 animals. For another example, let's say you had 2 pens of animals that you wanted to combine into a new pen. You could create a new pen by selecting the Pen Members table, then select Name for the column, and then Equals as the operator. Then click Insert Values at the bottom. This will populate the names of the pens of animals you have created in the drop-down menu for you to choose from. Select your first pen of animals that you want to combine. Then select OR in the logical field. In this case, we select OR because we want animals that appear in the first pen or in the second pen. Repeat the steps for the second step and then select the next pen. Once you have all the pens you want to include, click Next. Please note, when combining pens like this, the original pens and the animals in them will not be altered, but a new pen will be created using animals from both of the pens that you selected. You can see that the new pen has 74 animals, and that we have also added the pen information before creating the pen. Pens create a more convenient, smaller group of animals to work with in AIMS and can be created for a lot of different reasons. Over time, you will find the system that works best for you on how to use pens to manage your data and leverage the different features of AIMS. See additional videos for editing and deleting pens, creating whole pen operations or updates, and more. If you have any questions or need any further assistance, please reach out to the association via email aimsupport@angus.org or by calling 816-383-5100.